Here's 3 updates from Capitol Hill in 70 seconds. Story number 1, they let the national debt hit $40 trillion. And this chart is widely circulating the internet, and I really like it because it shows that spending problems are not just aligned with one political party. Now, no one said this better than Mick Mulvaney. He once served as Trump's chief of staff in his first administration. He said, quote, "My party is very interested in deficits when there is a Democrat in the White House." Now, we'll see if his statement holds true because Republicans and Democrats have to get together to pass funding legislation for fiscal year 2027. The fiscal year starts on October 1st. And speaking of Republicans and Democrats getting together, that brings us to story 2. We have someone switching sides. So as we all know, it is a midterm election year, meaning all of the House of Representatives are up for re-election and 1/3 of the Senate. Now, our story takes place in the Senate. We had Senator John Cornyn. He lost his primary race to Ken Paxton. He's the acting Attorney General of Texas. Now, this is tough because typically incumbents have an advantage. They have name recognition. So when their constituents go to the polls, they recognize them. Now, this didn't hold true for Cornyn. One of Cornyn's staffers said, "Hey, I still want a job," but instead of going to Ken Paxton's campaign, he went to the Democratic senatorial candidate's campaign. Now that's James Tallarico, and guessing by what the staffer said about Ken Paxton, I can tell why Tallarico wants him on his team. He said, "Ken Paxton is the most corrupt, self-dealing politician in Texas who would sell their future to the highest contributor just to hold on to power." We'll see in the coming months how that shakeup works for him. And speaking of shakeups, that brings us to story number 3 featuring Darling Graham in South Carolina. Now that name probably sounds familiar because Darling Graham is the sister of Lindsey Graham, who passed away in July. Now, Lindsey already won the Republican primary, so they had to redo the entire thing in a special election. Now, originally, Darling was appointed by the governor of South Carolina in this position, but then she said, "I like this temporary position and I want to run for a full 6-year term." She's up against Ralph Norman. Now, he has been a congressman in the House of Representatives for the past 30 years. And last night, they faced off on the debate stage. Darling was asked a question about whether the South China Sea and Taiwan were national security issues. Here's what she said.
I'm just going to be honest here. I'm not on national security. I'm not that informed on national security.
But at the end of the day, Darling Graham has the endorsement of President Trump, and he will be campaigning with her this Friday in Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. We'll see what happens in her election against Norman on August 25th.